Hello, a very lovely good evening and welcoming each and everyone down over here. So, what's the agenda for the day? As usual, each one of you will be quite curious to know the topic, and topic is quite important, significant and very formidable one from the examination point of view. So today we are going to start off with partnership, correct? So if each and everyone is ready, and it's very nice to see the strength down over there and here also. So please open down your register and pen so that we can begin the session. So, first session of the day and welcoming again, once again. So, with a lovely morning, good evening down from here, Sanjay Welkin. So we are going to start this topic, partnership. And today, first of all, you write down the main topic, partnership, then the subtopics I will write over here, partnership. What we are going to study in partnership? Partnership. Partnership is a pretty long and pretty formidable topic from examination point of view, and it encompasses many what we call subtopics. So please write down the subtopics are: one, we are going to study here in it simple dissolution. It's simple, that's why it has been prefixed as simple. So one is simple dissolution. Then we shall take up insolvency of partners. Insolvency. We would see later on, actually insolvency is of two types. Insolvency is of two types. One, partners insolvency. What exactly partners insolvency is, that we shall take up when we would take up the topic of insolvency. One is partners insolvency and another one is firms insolvency. Partners insolvency. Then next one is firms insolvency. Firms insolvency. Slowly and steadily, when gradually we shall move over to firms insolvency, we would see later on that even firms insolvency is segregated into two broad topics. Firms insolvency is further classified into two types. One is known as clear insolvency, that is clear firms insolvency. Of course, then unclear firms insolvency. What exactly clear and unclear is, that will become clearer to you only when we would take up the topic of firms insolvency. Then we would take the third one, that is related to sale of partnership business. Sale of partnership business. Sale of partnership business. Sale of partnership business. So often firms sell their business to companies, and at the same time many firms actually convert themselves into company form of business. So we shall take up that under sale of partnership firms. Then we would take amalgamation of firms. So often two big partnership firms combine together and merge into a single entity. So accounting procedures of amalgamations shall be taken in this particular topic. Amalgamation of partnership firms. Amalgamation of partnership firms. And then there is a very clumsy topic, tough topic, that is known as piecemeal distribution. Piecemeal distribution. Piecemeal. Here, piecemeal means gradual distribution. So, when assets are gradually sold out, what accounting procedures are adopted, that becomes the theme of this particular topic. Correct? So we shall start off with, in this particular session, simple dissolution. You have studied a lot about dissolution, so no theoretical what we call concepts are required in it. So you know better than I actually how a firm can dissolve. So when the purpose for which partnership was formed is achieved, then firm is often dissolved. Similarly, if firm is caught doing any what we call unlawful activity, firms can be ordered down to close down their business. So there could be many and umpteenth reasons for the dissolution of the partnership firms, isn't it or not? So, when a firm gets dissolved, important thing is that you have already studied what we call little bit of this particular topic in your earlier phase of education, isn't it or not? You have done partnership firm and you have done dissolution, and you know better than I actually that when a firm gets dissolved, what accounts you used to actually open down, isn't it or not? You used to prepare realization account, you used to prepare partners capital account, and at the same time you used to prepare cash account. So most of the things are you are already aware of, so it will be little bit easy for us as far as this particular topic is concerned. Then we are going to begin what we call today's session with this particular topic, simple dissolution. In order to comprehend the intricacies of simple dissolution, we will pick up question number 4, and we will try to understand the basics of simple dissolution and theoretical aspects also. Don't worry about that. So, simple dissolution we are starting off with. Simple dissolution. This is the first topic under partnership. Simple dissolution. Under simple dissolution, when a firm gets dissolved, actually, as you know, as far as ledger accounts are concerned, you prepare one, realization account, we are trying to understand the facets of simple dissolution with the help of question number 4. We will take the basics also and we will write some theory also later on, but question number 4. Just to remind you, whenever a firm gets dissolved, the firm prepares one realization account, then partners capital accounts are prepared. So partners are owners of the firm, so partners capital account means owners account. So partners capital account you would prepare. In this question there are 2 partners, so 2 columns are required. Partners capital account. One is feeble and another one is weak. There are 2 partners, feeble and weak. So we shall prepare feeble and weak capital account. Besides that, we shall also prepare cash account. Cash/bank account. Cash/bank account. Now, how the accounts shall be prepared, you know better than I. Still, we shall try to recapitulate the things. So, accounting procedures. Accounting. How these accounts shall be prepared when a firm dissolves its business. As you remember, actually, first of all, in your earlier phase of education, when you used to actually do dissolution in your partnership, so your teacher at a time used to say that first step is closure of asset sides. Yes, that is your first step, closure of asset side. So we shall close the asset side, closure of asset side. In order to close the asset side, what we are supposed to do, in order to close the asset side, steps are all assets. So many times I have already told you, each and every item on the asset side is not an asset. Don't let it escape out of your memory. Asset side comprises of 2 things. One, assets, and second is valueless assets. So I am talking about at this moment assets. All assets all assets will be transferred to the debit side of realization account. All assets, that is fixed asset and current assets, fixed assets and current assets, fixed asset and current asset shall be transferred to the debit side of realization account. Is it clear to you? All assets, that is fixed asset and current asset, shall be transferred to the debit side of realization account. This is our first step, debit side of realization account. Is it clear? However, we shall have to exercise caution with respect to cash. Cash is definitely a current asset, but we need to actually exercise caution with respect to cash. Cash will not be transferred. Cash or bank will be transferred to cash or bank account. Under dissolution of partnership firm, cash and bank will be transferred to cash account. Is it clear to you? Now we can conclude that barring cash and bank, all other assets will be transferred to the debit side of realization account. Is it clear to you? Cash and bank will be transferred to cash or bank account. So it means barring cash and bank account, all assets will be transferred to the debit side of realization account. Now, there will be some valueless assets. Valueless assets means debit balance of profit and loss account, valueless assets. Valueless assets such as valueless assets, example, profit and loss account debit balance, any suspense account like advertisement suspense account, capital expenditure yet to be written off, capital expenditure yet to be written off, yet to be written off. For example, it is given to you in the question that capital expenditure on neon sign boards yet to be written off. It means it's a valueless assets. So all valueless assets will be transferred to the debit side of partners capital account. In fact, these are accumulated losses. So debit side of partners capital account. Debit side of partners capital account. PCA stands for partners capital account. So please pay attention. Actually, PCA, it stands for partners capital account. So with the help of these rules, we shall now, in question number 4, try to close our asset side, correct? So that we can comprehend these rules in a better manner. So we move over to question number 4. We directly move over to asset side, and now with the help of what we call these rules, we shall try to post our asset side. Now on to the asset side, if you have taken care of question number 4, so please pay attention towards your asset side. The first item on the asset side is plant. So plant will be posted to the debit side of realization account. All assets shall be posted to the debit side of realization account. Plant is 60,000 in this case. So you have posted plant to the debit side. Then there is furniture. All assets will be posted to the debit side of realization account. Furniture will also be posted, 2,000 amount of furniture is. Then we have debtors. Debtors are to the extent of 45,000. Debtors should be, and it is better to transfer them at gross figure. So debtors are 45,000. Alternatively, you can transfer 43,000, that is 2,000 for provision. But it is better to transfer debtors here at gross figure. Then we have trademarks. Trademarks are worth rupees 6,000. So we shall post it to the debit side of realization account. Trademarks happens to be 6,000. So you will write here 6,000. Then we have got in this case stock. Stock is worth rupees 30. So 30,000. And then we have in this case cash. Amount of cash is 14,000, and just to remind you that cash is not posted to the debit side of realization account. In fact, cash will be taken towards the debit side of cash account. So on to the debit side of cash account, we shall write 14,000. then in the form of advertisement suspense account. You have seen advertisement suspense account is 5,000. So that is a valueless item, and all valueless item will be transferred to the debit side of partner's capital account. So that is the reason advertisement suspense account will be written onto the debit side of partner's capital account. Profit sharing ratio between F and W is 4:1 in this question. So 5,000 is the amount, 4,000 is the share of F feeble, and 1,000 is the share of weak. So it's very simple step. It is not going to give us much headaches, and most of the things you are already aware of. So not a very big issue as far as closure of asset side is concerned. So after closing down your asset side, obviously now you are going to move towards to your liability side. That is your second step. Closure of asset side. Now we shall close the liability side, closure of liability side. Now you will close your liability side. In order to close your liability side, you have to be cautious. See here. Liability side can be divided into three sections. One, capitals. Second, reserves. And third, liabilities. So many times, actually, I keep on telling you, and just to remind you, by now you are already well familiar with this particular thing. So, closure of liability side. As far as liability side is concerned, all liabilities, liability means amount owed by the firm to the parties other than business and owners. You know, in an entity, there are actually three parties. First party is entity, the enterprise. Second party is the owner. So, amount which is due to parties other than entity and owners are nothing but liability. In simple words, liability means the amount which is owed by the enterprise to outside parties, and liabilities must be settled in time, because if we would fail, then punitive action, that is punishable actions, could be initiated against us. So as far as your liability side is concerned, on to the liability side, actually, one is liability. Whatever liabilities are there onto the liability side, liabilities include, just to remind you, liabilities include sundry creditors. I am using the short form. Everything is written in your notes, so don't worry about that. Bank overdraft, all these are liabilities. Bills payable, outstanding expenses, loans, provision for tax, workmen profit sharing fund. Now this liability could confuse, so please pay attention. Workmen profit sharing fund is a liability, not a fund. Profit sharing fund. Profit sharing fund means an agreement has taken place between the entity and the worker that if there would be more than surplus profits, then some profits would be credited to your account in the form of workmen profit sharing fund. So this is the amount which is due by the enterprise to the what we call workers. So it is the duty of the enterprise to pay this particular amount to the workers. Correct? Then workmen saving bank account, it is also a liability and it could also create confusion. So please pay attention. Workmen saving bank account. Workmen saving bank account is also a liability. Workmen saving bank account. Workmen saving bank account. Similarly, if there would be gratuity, then it is also treated as liability. And gratuity, this word you have heard a lots of time. Now, all liabilities will be posted to the credit side of realization account. These liabilities will be posted to the credit side of realization account. Credit side of realization account. credit side of realization account. All liabilities will be posted to the credit side of realization account. So on to the liability side, one is liability, then second possible thing is a specific reserve. So many times actually I have talked about a specific reserve. So specific reserves means such reserves which are created against particular what we call assets, specific reserves. Name itself is suggesting specific means particular. So these assets, these reserves are meant particularly for a particular asset. Specific reserves include, just to remind you, one is provision for doubtful debts. I am using the short form, but I have used the long form in your notes. Don't worry about that. This is your provision for doubtful debts. Then, similarly, there could be investment fluctuation fund. Investment fluctuation fund, it is written in your notes. Don't worry about that. Investment fluctuation fund. Similarly, provision for depreciation. Provision for depreciation. All these are examples of specific reserves. Provision for depreciation. Similarly, joint life policy reserve. Joint life policy reserve is also a specific reserve. Joint life policy reserve. Joint life policy reserve. Correct? Similarly, as stock reserve. Stock reserve. All these are examples of a specific reserve. Whatever specific reserves are there shall be posted to the credit side of realization account. So specific reserves will also be posted to the credit side of realization account. Credit side of realization account. Correct? So not a big deal. Most of the rules you are already aware of. Now I will take the liberty of you to rub it off. Now third step is on to the liability side. Third, free reserves. Free reserves. Free reserves such as profit and loss account credit balance, profit and loss account credit balance, then general reserve, reserve fund, workmen compensation fund if there is any. Workmen compensation fund. Workmen compensation fund is an example of free reserve. Workmen compensation fund. Then we have insurance fund if there is any. Insurance fund. All these are examples of free reserves. Sometimes just to confuse, some capital reserves may be given in the question. So these should be treated as free reserves. All free reserves are posted to the credit side of partner's capital account. Credit side of capital account. It is accumulated wealth of the partners, to be very honest with you, free reserves, so they would not like to get in part with it, so they will get its due. So credit side of partners capital account. Then there could be fourth item, partners capital account. Partners capital account. Partners drawings account. If onto the liability side there are capital accounts or drawings account or partners advance account, partners advance account, all these even partners current account, if there is something related with partners in the form of partners capital, partners drawing or advance account or partners current account, these items will be posted to the capital account. Suppose these items are appearing on the liability side, then you will post them to the credit side of partners capital account. In dissolution, you need not require to prepare separately partners current account. Is it clear to you? Similarly, if all these items are appearing on the asset side, then you will post them to the debit side of partners capital account. Is it clear? Then you must have noted actually that I haven't written partners loan account yet. If there is partners loan account, then it is always better to prepare separately partners loan account. If there is partners loan account, then it should not be transferred to partners capital. Rather, a separate loan account should be opened and it should be transferred to debt. Separate loan account. Separate loan account. So, this is your second step. The first step is closure of asset side. Then under the second step, which we had just written, so as per these assets, all liabilities will be posted to the credit side of realization account. Similarly, if there would be specific reserves, then specific reserves too will be posted onto the credit side. And anything related with what we call, in the form of free reserves, if there are some items, then these will be posted to the credit side of partners capital, and anything related with partner will also come in the partners capital account. But if there would be partners loan account, then it is better to prepare separately a partners loan account, and that balance should be transferred to loan account. Is it clear? So after having gone through these two steps, now we can move over to the liability side in this question. In the liability side, we find feebles capital and weeks capital. So, obviously, capitals will be transferred to the credit side of partners capital account. In this case, capital of feeble happens to be 80 and weak is 30. So, on the credit side of feeble, we write 80,000. On to the W side, we write 30,000. Then we have bank loan and creditors. Now, bank loan and creditor is liability, correct? In order to acquire proficiency in this particular chapter, you should have the caliber and art and the skill and the dexterity to classify the items into proper categories. That is, whether it is a liability, whether it is a specific reserve or a free reserve. Now, bank loan and creditor, you should, within a flick of second, be able to classify them as liabilities, and we have just written that all the liabilities will be posted to the credit side of realization account. So on to the credit side of realization account, we write bank loan. Amount of bank loan in this case happens to be how much? Bank loan given to you is 10,000. Then we have in this case creditors. Creditors will also be posted to the credit side of realization account as these are liabilities. Creditors in this case happens to be 40,000. So you have just written about 40,000. Is it clear to you? Now, after having completed your first and second step, now what will be your third step? Remember, first step is the closure of the asset side and second one is closure of liability side. Now, as far as your third step is concerned, third broad step, that is step number A, step number B. Now we come over to step number C. Step C deals with realization of assets. Now you are going to realize your asset, realization of your asset. Your business has closed down, so you would like to sell off your asset, realization of assets. This is your third step. Under realization of assets, two possibilities may happen. Asset may be sold for cash or asset may be taken over by a particular partner. 1. Asset sold for cash. If asset has been sold for cash, asset sold, then your entry will be cash account debit to realization account. Cash account debit to realization account. That will be your entry. Is it clear to you or not? Then, If asset has been taken over by a particular partner, it may happen on many occasions that firm might not get the price for which it would be willing to dispose of its asset. So firm may enter into an agreement with one of the partner that you take that particular asset at this particular price. So assets taken over by partner. If asset has been taken over by partner, then you will substitute word cash by partner's capital account. So your entry will become partner's capital account debit to realization account. Again, it is not a big deal, as most of these concepts you are very well aware of. So now we find whether any asset has been sold out or not in this case. So it is written that debtors realized 90% of the book value. So now what you will do, you will come over to the credit side of realization account, because you will pass your entry cash account debit to realization account. So realization account, as each one of you know, is a nominal account. When you will realize the cash, it is a gain for you. So that is the reason you are going to write here asset realized. Now in this case, it is given that trademarks realized debtors realized 90% of the book value. Before I write that, one item I have left out. Unfortunately, I was talking about there is provision for bad debts in this question also. We haven't transferred provision for bad debts. At that time, I was telling that it is better to transfer debtors at gross figure. Since provision, we have already seen provision is a specific reserve. So provision for doubtful debts, being a specific reserve, should be transferred to the credit side of realization account. Now we can say our closure of assets and liabilities has taken place. Now we can say actually, so 2000. So after closing down your assets and liability, now you will realize your assets. Your entry will be cash account debit to realization account. Now, when you will sell off your assets, in this case, debtors are being realized at 90%. Remember one thing, your debtors are worth rupees 45,000. So you will compute 90% of 45,000. That will be equal to, I think, 40,500. 40,500. It is important that you have to take care of the fact for how much asset is being realized. Whatever is not being realized, you need not require to care about that, because finally loss and profit will be reflected on account of lower or higher selling itself. Is it clear to you? We need to bother about for how much we are disposing of the asset, and similarly later on we would see for how much we are paying off the liabilities. Now in this case, further it is said that trademarks realized 4,000. So we will write trademarks 4,000. So trademarks are being disposed of at rupees 4,000. Then it is also given that goodwill was sold for 5,000. Now if you have gone through the question very carefully, you must have noted that goodwill is not given in the balance sheet. It means it is an unrecorded asset. So unrecorded asset again will not give us much trouble. All we need to do is whatever we are getting out of unrecorded asset, we will simply realize it. So goodwill is sold for 5,000. We will write here goodwill 5,000. Then we have plant and stock taken over by Fievel for 72 and 18,000. We will do this in entry. Just wait for a while. After that, it is given that an unrecorded asset estimated at 3,000 was sold for 1,000. An unrecorded asset. So unrecorded asset worth rupees 3,000 could be disposed of for rupees 1,000. So it means we are getting a cash of rupees 1,000 from this unrecorded asset. So we have been able to dispose of our assets. These assets have been sold for rupees, what we call, sold for rupees, how much? That is 44,000, that is 44, 49, 50, 50,500. So assets have been sold for 50,500. Now we can say our entry will be cash account debit to realization account 50,500, 50,500. Correct? So now on to the debit side of cash account, we will cross it over and we will write here to realization. In bracket you can write assets realized. You can write also 50,500. 50,500. Is it clear? Now, it is given in the question that point number 4, plant and stock were taken over by FIVL for 72 and 18,000. So when a particular asset is taken over by a particular partner, your entry will become that partner's account debit to realization account. So in this case, your entry will be what we call FIVL account debit to realization account. So on to the credit side of your realization account, you will write by FIVL's capital account. By FIVL's capital account. So FIVL has taken over plant for rupees how much? FIVL has taken over plant for rupees 72,000 while stock has been taken over by him for rupees 18,000. So 18,000. Is it clear to you? So now we can rub it down also. So total worth of assets taken over by FIVL happens to be 90,000. So entry is FIVL's account debit to realization account, or we can say on the credit side of realization account we have written by F. So on to the debit side of F we shall write here by realization, and in his column we shall put 90,000. Is it clear to you? Now, we will move over to the next step. Next step is point number 1 is over, second is over, third is also over, 4 and 5 are also over. Point number 6 states that discounts amounting to 400 were allowed by creditors while paying their claims, and expenses of realization amounted to 2,000. So pay attention actually in this case. Your liabilities, these are your liabilities, bank loan and creditor. But remember one thing, provision for doubtful debts is a specific reserve. It is not a liability. Correct? You need not require to pay off your provision. You are required to pay off your liability whether it is mentioned in the question or not. Once again, I am repeating what I have just said. All liabilities, real liabilities which you have transferred here must be paid off irrespective of any information given in the question or not. Now in this question, what is given to us? First of all, after realizing our asset, next theoretical step is realization of liability. We write realization of liability, but it means actually paying off liability. Realization of liability, that is your fourth step now, realization of liability. So liability may be paid by firm, and most of the time liability shall be paid by firm, no doubt about that. But in rare cases, sometime partners agrees to pay the liability. So two situations may arise, payment by firms. So if firm is paying off the liability, payment by firm. Payment by firm. If firm shall pay the liability, then your entry will be realization account debit to cash account. Realization account debit to cash account, no doubt about that. And if partner agrees to pay the liability, or simply partners takes over the liability, whatever you may like to write, partner agrees to pay the liability. Agrees to pay liability. Partner agrees to pay liability. In that case, your entry will be realization account debit to that partner's capital account. To partner's capital account. Is it clear to you or not? So, in this case, it is written that discount amounting to 400 were allowed by the creditors. So, now we shall pay to the creditor. Our entry will be realization account debit to cash account. Now, creditors are worth rupees 40,000, but you are paying them 400 less because creditors have given us some discount. 39,600 we would pay to the creditors. Remember one thing, nothing has been given in this question with respect to bank loan. So you will have to be careful with respect to bank loan. That was my point at that time. Bank loans, in fact, any liability which you have posted down over here shall have to be paid at any cost, whether any information is given in the question or not. So bank loan worth rupees 10,000 you shall pay. So after paying off your liability, you will, in the next step, pay expenses. Next step is related with dissolution expenses, and most of you know the entry, so I need not require to write the entry. Entry will be realization account debit to cash account. In this question, it is given that realization expenses are 2,000, so you can club it here. Realization account debit to cash account, correct? So you can club the expenses here, 2,000. Now, you will pay off your liabilities, creditor, bank loan, and what we call expenses. So it will be equal to 51,600. So all in all, you will pay 51,600. On to the credit side, you will write here by realization 51,600. 51,600. Is it clear to you? So that is how you are going to prepare the accounts. Now, next and final step is, I told you, fifth step is realization expenses. Entry will be realization account debit to cash account. So with that, your accounting task is over. Now all you need to do is close your realization account. Close realization account. So now we shall close the realization account and we shall try to find out the loss or profit. So in this case, there is a loss worth rupees 2,100 because your debit side is bigger. Any nominal account which is having a debit side bigger will incur, which means actually this particular account is incurring a loss. So in this case, loss is 2,100. Now this loss will be transferred to the partner's capital account. Loss transferred to F feeble and what we call W. Now share of feeble is, share of W is 420 in fact, and share of feeble is 1680. So loss, after computing the loss, you will transfer them to the debit side of partner's capital account and you will write to realization loss. Realization loss is 1680 and then we have 420, correct? After finishing off our realization account, then the next step is closure of capital account. Now we will close the capital account and whatever balances will be there, we will simply pay them off. If there is a credit balance means your credit side is bigger, then firm will pay to that particular partner. But at the same time, if any partner's capital account will show debit balance, then firm will ask that partner to pay the amount to the firm. Correct? So final settlement will now be made because firm has closed down. Business has come to an end. There is no point in now writing down balance carried down. So we'll finish off the capital accounts. So capital accounts we shall finish off and we will see actually the debit side of F is bigger. So it means F is supposed to pay to the firm and he will pay to the firm this much of amount, that is 15,680. 15,680. On the other hand, W is having credit balance. So firm will pay to W this much of amount, 28,580. 28,580. So we have written here by cash. So on the debit side of cash account, we shall write 2F 15,680, correct, 15,680, and then we shall write here by W 28,580. Logically, now our cash account should get automatically tallied. So that will be the verification whether the question has been done in a correct manner or not. Correct? So, with the help of question number 4, we have tried to actually find out the basic what we call steps which are involved in the simple dissolution, how accounts are prepared. Most of the things you are already well aware of, or should I say were already aware of. So it is quite an easy task, not a very tough one. In spite of that, actually, now we are going to take question number 5. Question number 5, but you will have to wait for that at least for 1 or 2 minutes. That question will be taken in the next session. So till then, for 1 minute, it's goodbye from here.